Howdy, Trevor Slaughter, driver of this wonderful little machine. Just doing an update on our return from the salt. Went down to Lake Gardner a few weeks ago. We've come back and got it back in the shed now, ready to do the maintenance, getting ready for the next run. Just a bit of an update though on what we did. Had a really good run down. There was 3 vehicles taking the crew down and a road train taking the race car and all the support equipment down. We had a little bit of humour on the way down. The boys got a bit bored and chased some wildlife, trying to catch some little goats. So that was a bit humorous for a little while. Then someone decided to test the fuel gauge on one of the vehicles and left us stranded on the side of the road for a little while. So that was sort of the entertaining bits of the trip over. When we got over there, we set up camp. Set up actually quicker than we thought we would. So it was really good setup, and we got our sleeping arrangements all set up nicely. And the pit area came up really good. We had the 3 containers laid out so that there was a little eating area off one side and a workshop up the front, and then the 40-foot on the other side where the race car came out. So it set up a really nice little windbreak because it gets a bit windy in the afternoon. But it was really nice. So having set everything up and got everything running, we rolled the race car out, and that was on the Sunday afternoon. Got it all set up, started it up, checked everything over, ready for Monday morning. Monday we went through scrutineering. A couple of little things needed to be given some love, but realistically no real dramas. And then Monday afternoon we did our first run. First run resulting in 175 mile an hour straight off the trailer. Only supposed to do 150, but it blew to one side of the track a little bit, and I was a bit worried that if I pulled the parachute that it'd actually pull me out in the rough, so I just kept driving it, bring it back out in the centre a little bit. So we got a bit of a slap in the wrist for that, but because I should have buttoned off, etc. But we survived. Then on the Tuesday I had to go to Whyalla to put some new tyres on the rims, because on the Monday run I damaged one of the tyres. So we got some new tyres and put them on the rims on the Tuesday. So Benny and I went into town, bought some more water because it was bloody hot out there. 49 degrees, 48 degrees on the Sunday and the Monday. And we got that all organised with the tyres and got some more water while the boys were modifying the roll bar and doing a couple other bits of maintenance on the car. Got back, finished the maintenance, put the new tyres on, etc., ready for the Wednesday morning. The Wednesday run was a little bit of a mix-up. Got a bit of a puff of wind and it just steered the car a little bit. Unfortunately I lost track of where it was on the track, and it steered me straight across, and I clipped a little flag on the other side. And these flags are supported by some PVC, and that's the result of what happens when you hit a PVC stick at 200 mile an hour. Minimal damage to the race car, just a bit of a crack in one area. We put some racer tape on it and back to business. On the next run, we got up on the Thursday. Car was all ready to rock and roll again, really nice. We sat around for 6 hours in the staging lanes waiting to get our run. It was a little bit windy, but no worries. And we were trying for 200 mile an hour at this stage. So we got the car all ready. Some idiot who drives the thing, me, when you've got your glove on, it's a really thick glove, and when you put your hand in the steering wheel there's not much room to the shift button, and I didn't realise, but my finger, every time I moved my hand in the glove, I clicked another gear. So when we went to pull away, I was stuck in top gear. So from the start line right the way through, we chugged on down and got 200 mile an hour. Wasn't the tidiest to run, but we got there, so it was a good run. We were pretty pleased with it because, as I say, we chugged from the start line right the way through, pulling really high gears, and we still got 200 mile an hour in the 2 mile run. So it showed great potential. And I remind you that this motor is what we call Dorothy the Dunger. It was really going to be there for a couple of runs, but it had done such a good job and showed no strain, no stresses, so we kept it in there. We had another engine which had a lot more horsepower, but we didn't need it, so we just stayed with Dorothy. On the Friday we got the cream run. We got there really early. It was just on twilight when we got on the start line, and realistically we were going to be the first car to go down, but as it turned out it really didn't matter because it was so beautiful. It was dead calm. All the rest of the runs had been a little bit windy, and it was dead calm, nice and cool. You could see for miles. There was no mirage or shimmer on the salt. It was really, really nice conditions to race, and everything went well. The deal with the big fat gloves kept his finger off the gear button until it was needed, and we clocked through. We finished, pulled up just short of the 7-mile run and recorded 253 mile an hour, or just over 400 kilometres an hour. And that gave us the Australian 3-litre record for a streamliner. We were really chuffed. There was no problems whatsoever. One small thing on the start line, we had a stuck injector which continually wanted to dribble methanol out the exhaust pipe, but there was no real dramas, and we chugged on down and did a marvellous run. It was really fun to drive. There was no scary bits where it wanted to dart and dive due to the wind, etc. So it was a really, really nice run. So we claimed then the 3-litre record. Pretty jubilant team down the bottom end. It was quite funny on the video actually. You watch the push-off crew and everyone's had their cheers and all the rest of it, and we just started to push off and tow it away, and next minute the push-off team arrived about 10 minutes later sort of thing, so they had a bit of a trip going down. But it was really good, good experience, that run. 253 mile an hour. The car worked really well. It was really nice to drive, nice and steady and stable. We had one little bit where the car wanted to walk on the tyres a little bit, but subsequent to that we've looked at the footage and we think we know what the issue is there, and we'll make some modifications. So here it is back in the shed. What we're doing now is repairing a little bit of damage where we hit this. There's a little bit of damage around the side skirts, around the front end, where again we ran off the track in the early days just prior to hitting this. So we'll do that, get that all organised, and we're going to make some modifications as well. We're taking Dorothy out. She's got the pension. She can go to the old folks home now for used race engines, and we're going to put our good motor in. As I say, quite a bit more horsepower, quite a bit more potential. We're really pleased with what we've achieved with Dorothy, because there was nothing flash in Dorothy whatsoever, and as I said, we were only using her as a start-up motor, so it wasn't intended to be our race motor for the week. So she did a really good job. So do the maintenance, repair the body, the little bit of transit damage, some of the panels on the side flexed a little bit, and we needed to do some repairs in there. Change the engine over. We're going to fix the gearbox. There was a little issue with the gearbox on one of the solenoids. We're just going to fix that, and we're going to bigger tyres. So what we're going to do there is we're going to, they're about 2.5 inches taller in diameter, and as far as that will do is give us more top end speed, of course. So it'll be a rocket ship next time. The camera footage that we have put through is good. We have a camera on the top of the tail fin, one on the nose, and a couple inside the cab there, and so it was really good footage that we got out of that. Nice and stable. One camera in the cockpit flaps around a little bit. We'll probably have to mount that a little different. And we're in the process now of taking the top scoop off so that we can have a bit more streamlined air, and this is in preparation also for when we put the turbine in after this engine. So we're planning to be back on the salt in August. We're going to take that to a new limit, and we're trying to get the 400 mile an hour record, which is the Australian wheel driven record. In August it's just us, it won't be any other persons down there racing, so all we have to do is race the elements. We don't have to queue up for 6 hours. We can get the nice early time when the breeze is nice and calm, and everything will be just for us. So no excuses whatsoever. As far as from a driving perspective, I really enjoyed it. The first day, getting out the car after the very first pass in the thing, reminding you that it's 30 years in preparation, 6 years of building. It was pretty emotional, Benny, my son, he had a bit of an emotional trip down the bottom end. He was pretty pleased we'd made it, and you know, the car looked beautiful. It was really a masterpiece to behold, and all the spectators liked it, so it was really nice to be appreciated like they did. Without the support of our sponsors, of course, we wouldn't be able to do a lot of this. And of course, with the fantastic wheels that we have is Mickey Thompson. Mickey Thompson tyres are the best in the world. They're the only tyres that are rated for those sorts of speeds, and the more we get up in the speeds, the more we'll require those. The NQ Group supplied the vehicle to take us down there, and they've used their vehicles to get them to the unveiling of the car, etc. We also have the GCG turbocharger, fantastic turbocharger, thank you GCG. We've got Turbo Smart technology that controls the boost, and that's does a wonderful job. Royal Wolf came on board and gave us some containers to ship our stuff down there. It was really it made the trip a lot easier. Worth Automotive, they came in with some spanners and some odds and ends that were needed around the car for maintenance, etc. So that was very much appreciated. A company that came on reasonably late in the piece was Motul Oil. This is absolutely fantastic. I honestly do believe that a lot of the success that we had was due to Motul's oil, because poor old Dorothy, I don't think she had it been any less oil, Dorothy probably wouldn't have been able to do the job. Had no problem with it whatsoever. It was really good. Nitto, one of our fellows on the crew, he works for Nitto, and he did a good job in getting us support from Nitto. All our airlines, etc. Nitto. We have some air tools that Nitto provided to us, and that's very much appreciated. And of course, Speedflow. Speedflow, without their bits and pieces, we couldn't have hassle-free racing, because with their bits and pieces, their hoses and their end fittings, etc, we had no leakages whatsoever. There was no problems with hose clamps bursting or anything like that, because Speedflow fittings were absolutely wonderful. So, in appreciation of everybody, we did our best. We came away with the Australian record. So it was a very successful trip. Now, if anyone wants any further information or wants to follow us a bit closer, don't forget we've got our Facebook page, and you can look at us on Facebook, and Benny, our team manager, updates that as much as he can. And we also have our Slaughter Motorsport web page. That's www.slaughtermotorsport, all one word, .com. So please follow us. Please register your likes and whatever. We also have on the web page a little thing where you can register and get updates, and that will become more active. We're in the process of getting a new website just at present. So register on that, and you go on the database, and then when there's little bits of information, we might be heading off somewhere to do some testing or whatever, that'll come to you via an email. Once again, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. It's been absolutely wonderful. The number of people that come up to me now and say, "G'day, you're that bloke that's that crazy bloke," usually they call me, that's running that car, is wonderful. I know it's corny, I guess, but it's true. I have had this passion for 30 years. In 1983 I started it, and one of the things I want to achieve is I want to be the first Australian to hold a world land speed record. No other Australian has done it, and I think the Americans and the Poms have had it too long. And part of the thing is, as you can see in the background, we have an Australian flag clearly hanging in our workshop, and part of the thing is I'm doing it for Australia. I want Australia to have, like our water speed record, a person holding the world land speed record for a wheel-driven vehicle. The steps we're moving through now is, as I said, Donald Campbell's 1964 record of 403 mile an hour. That'll give us the Australian wheel-driven record. and then we'll move on to the world wheel-driven record, which is 458 mile an hour, which we're targeting 500 mile an hour. And on the front of the car we have a little decal with a crossed flags, and we've got some kangaroo that belting the hell out of a Yankee flag, and it's the race to 800. So support us please. If you want to follow us, as I say, mention the links, get on the computer and get in touch with us, and I hope you've enjoyed this little update. Thank you.